And now, Wave fans, get on your feet and let's hear you as we introduce your six-time champion, Milwaukee Wave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brad Beach.
A goalkeeper from Holland, number 1, Marcel Feenstra.
A defender from Ivory Coast, number 6, Judson McKinney.
A midfielder from Brazil, number 7, Luan Oliveira.
A defender from Brazil, number 8, Fabinho.
A midfielder from Brazil, number 12, Pablo.
A forward from Spain, number 14, Nick Pereira.
A defender from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 15, Tony Walls.
A forward from Uruguay, number 18, Carlos Munoz.
A midfielder from Argentina, number 20, Marcelo Fontana.
A midfielder from British Columbia, number 21, Giuliano Oliviero.
A midfielder from Mexico, number 23, Victor Quiros.
A forward from Canada, number 26, get the bobbleheads out, Ian Bennett.
A defender from South Africa, co-captain, number 28, Jonathan Greenfield.
A midfielder from Wisconsin, number 29, J.C. Banks.
A midfielder from Brazil, number 77, Marcio Leite.
On the bench in his 22nd season as the head coach of the Milwaukee Wave, Keith Tozier. He's assisted by Giuliano Oliviero and goalkeeper coach Mark Litton.
Also on the bench in his 30th season, the original member of the Wave organization, athletic trainer Larry Sales. Tonight's Sendik's captain of the game is Hans Friedberg.
The Rochester Lancers. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Tom Wynn along with Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer as we bring you all the play-by-play action from tonight's matchup between the Wave and the Rochester Lancers. And Art, looking at tonight's matchup, two teams that have been going in opposite directions. Lancers come in at 3-8, coming off of 3 heartbreaking defeats, I should say. But they have been battling hard under new coach Josh Rife, former Wave star. And despite some rather tumultuous travel and accommodations over the past week, which has seen them be in Milwaukee the past 5 days, I think they're going to be ready to play tonight's game.
Well, the big story for Rochester is the 2 leading scorers in the league last year, Mauricio Salas and Doug Miller, have really just fallen flat this year. Last year they had a combined 78 goals on 307 shots. Believe it or not, through 60 shots 3 games ago, they had 1 goal. They've scored 4 since then, so they're starting to get it on track. If they're going to get a result tonight, it's got to be Miller and Salas for Rochester being hot.
Meanwhile, the Wave coming off an impressive 13-11 victory at St. Louis. That was their 3rd in a row. Milwaukee now 8-1 and 3-0 here at the U.S. Cellular Arena so far. Art, very impressive win, not only going on the road to get a win, but especially because the date got switched at the last minute, and Keith Tozer and company had to roll down a day earlier to St. Louis and still managed to come back and pull out the victory.
Well, give everybody credit, including Sue Black, the owner, for getting the team on the road. Coach Tozer for selling it to the players. You know, players, what do you mean we're leaving a day early? They went there, they got the job done, and what they've done is they've positioned themselves nicely. The Wave right now is 7-1, a half game in front of Baltimore, 2 games in front of Syracuse. They got a real opportunity to extend that lead here this evening.
Aside from Sue, you may have noticed some of our other guests here on the pregame show, including our representatives from PCI, as well as Ian Bennett. It'll be a special presentation involving him tonight. But anyway, Art, let's turn it over to Sue Black, the president and CEO of the Milwaukee Wave, and talk about tonight's festivities.
Well, what a great night, you know, to have all of the alumni players here last night. We were at the top of the Hyatt up at the you know, where it spins at the top up there?
Polaris
room. Oh, my God, we had a ball. I said it's like having a family reunion, and I don't know anybody, you know, because these guys, you know, because I am really, obviously the new owner, but the history of this team in 30 years, to be able to celebrate that tonight is amazing. And then to also have Ian, to have PCI, thank you, Michelle, but I want to give you something, and I think this is the first time that he's seen it, that here is your official Ian Bennett bobblehead. I know.
Wow,
I know.
That's awesome, man. I got to definitely thank PCI, the Grau family, Sue, Allison, everybody, and my teammates. This is awesome. This is great. This looks pretty good.
Heavy.
It's better looking than me, actually. Dude. I don't know. I might have to walk around with this. But.
Yeah, but we're really proud of them, and I'm just so happy. And thank you guys for doing that. And maybe you want to say a few words, but they've just supported the Wave, and I just can't thank you guys enough.
Michelle, great to have you on board. Some of your thoughts.
We just love the Wave, grown up with them, and as the years have gone on, watch the changes. And Sue coming in this year, there's some awesome changes going on. We're really excited with her. Ian, great player, and we love to sponsor him and any other business out there. I recommend being a part of the Wave. It's been wonderful for us.
Great, that's awesome, and certainly
on bobblehead day, we expect at least 3 goals from you there, by the way. So the heat is on.
Yeah, we'd never put any pressure on you, Ian, that's for sure. As we said, Wave coming off that big win in St. Louis last week, but prior to that, they had 2 big home wins here on the home turf against St. Louis and Syracuse. So let's take a look at a few of those highlights as they remain undefeated here thus far at the U.S. Cellular Arena.
Offensive zone and 2 hanging back. Munoz sets it up and 10 wins to the right side. Wisconsin Scratch Report. Not playing tonight's game are Nick Forberg, Everton, Philip Surprise, Andy Hackbar, and Tenzin Rampa. The pregame Scratch Report is brought to you by the Freighter and Medical College of Wisconsin, where the finest minds in medicine have their minds on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the national anthem performed by North Lake School. Presenting the colors are members of Troop 90.
Tonight's flower giveaway is brought to you by Wilkie's House of Roses.
And once again, we greet you from the U.S. Cellular Arena in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tom Wynn along with Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer as we are wrapping up the pregame festivities here at the Cell prior to the start of tonight's game between the Milwaukee Wave and the Rochester Lancers. Just to set the stage for you again, Wave currently in first place in the Major Indoor Soccer League with a record of 7-1. They are 3-0 at home, 4-1 on the road. And the Rochester Lancers coming in with a mark of 3-8. 3-3 at home, 0-5 on the road. But as we talked about, Arts could have easily pulled out a couple of these last two road games. As it turned out, it's been one extended road trip because of the travel situation that has kept them basically in Chicago and Milwaukee for a whole week here. But Coach Josh Rife, the former Wave star, in his first year as coach of the Lancers, and they've been right there in a lot of these contests. This three-game losing streak, 3 consecutive 2-point losses. So I don't think the Wave will be taking them for granted here tonight.
Well, the word finish has got to be on Coach Josh Rife's mind. First, they couldn't finish the road trip. They couldn't fly back to Rochester from Chicago. They were stranded, as you said, in Chicago for 2 days and then in Milwaukee. So none of these players, they packed for 2 days. They were on the road for 7-8 days. So not a very comforting feeling for those guys. But then we talked about Mauricio Salas and Doug Miller. They need to start finishing their chances. They've scored 4 goals in their last 28 shots. I said they had 1 goal in their first 60 shots. So they're starting to come to life a little bit. And then they need to finish the fourth quarter. They've lost the last 3 games by 2 points in each game, and they've been shut out in the fourth quarter of all 3 games. So they need to finish games when they're in position. 3 in a row, they've lost by 2. No goals in the fourth quarter in those games.
Josh Rife has got to hold up the 4 fingers while on the bench there, signifying
sure,
fourth quarter.
Maybe they can play the Wisconsin theme song, Jump Around, before the start. Or maybe Josh could bring a little boom box with Jump Around for his team.
See Brad Beach, the Wave mascot, escorting the lucky fan off the field. And take a look at the MISL standings. As we mentioned, Wave in first place. They lead Baltimore by a half game. Syracuse, which was a winner at home last night, a come-from-behind win over Missouri, a game back in third place. And then the Comets holding down fourth place at 1.5 games behind Milwaukee. And And then St. Louis, Rochester, Pennsylvania. Remember, the top 4 teams qualify for the postseason. So every game from here on out is going to be huge for the Lancers as they try to get back in the playoff race. Get a look at Ian Bennett. And as you saw, we are celebrating Ian Bennett bobblehead night here tonight.
And I put the heat on him, saying that he needed a big game. Didn't know that was going to be broadcast to the whole bowl.
I believe you mentioned hat trick, Art. So
yeah, well, we'll see.
Ian did have a hat trick in his last time here in the game against Syracuse, and that would be something if he could do it again. Ball bounces in. Marcel Feenstra getting the start tonight for the Wave. Marcel's 4th consecutive start, and he is undefeated this year at 4-0. Marcel currently 6th in the league in points against average at 11.22, 10th in save percentage at 64%. And he's matched up against 42-year-old rookie Mark Sotilli, making his MISL debut tonight. What a story with this guy, Art. Legendary local recreational keeper in the Rochester area. And with the injury to Gavin McInerney, their normal number 1 guy. Also, Patrick Hannigan not in the lineup. Their other veteran keeper, Sotilli, gets the start. Talk about being thrown into the fire.
Yeah, McInerney gets hurt on this trip. They have to send him home. As you said, they bring in Sotilli tonight for the match.
Well, anyway, better late than never for the 42-year-old. Nice distribution there. And the Lancers, the yellow-clad Rochester Lancers, moving it left to right. There's a familiar face with the ball right there. That's J.P. Rodriguez. Played for the Wave each of the last 4 years. Back heel to the middle. Kyrdos is there for the Wave as Rodriguez was charging through. Jonathan Greenfield trying to start it up. Had it poked away. Back to his defensive partner, Kyrdos. Victor looking around as he found Judson McKinney at midfield. McKinney actually would be on the back line in this configuration along with Greenfield as Marcel Liete controls for the Wave. Knocks up ahead, Greenfield. Nice left foot ball off the end board. Oh, and running through and not quite able to direct it in. That time was Fabinho. Boy, great ball by Greenfield, and unlucky for Fabinho. Couldn't quite finish it. Pass in the middle. McKinney had it deflect away. And actually, as I mentioned, that McKinney, normally a defender, but playing in midfield right now with this group.
And remember, before the St. Louis game, Coach Tozer worked hard with his troops on balls off the boards and getting to the box, and you see it there early on.
So it appears McKinney running at a midfield spot for now. And we've got a whistle on the field.
Looks like too many men on Rochester.
And if that's the case, Wave will get a power play at 2:15 in the first period. You get a look at the winningest coach in league history, Keith Tozer, and there's his counterpart, his former player the last 4 years, Josh Rife.
See Josh with the roll of the eyes there. Not a good start. You know, you come into play against Milwaukee, Baltimore, Missouri, really the 3 top teams in this league. Got to limit your mistakes. Too many men on the field in the first 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Not a good start.
So the Wave will go on the power play. First power play of the night for either team. Kyrdos and Liete, along with Carlos Munoz, Juliano Oliviero, and Ian Bennett, the power play unit for the Wave. We'll set the Lancers penalty killers for you as soon as we get a chance. Milwaukee on the man advantage this year. 4 for 14 at 29%. They are 4th in the league. 5th in the league, as Sotilli able to cover up after he initially gave up a rebound there. The right-hander launching downfield. And as it deflects through, fielded by Marcel Feenstra, that was Gary Boughton. The Lancers' leading scorer, 24 points on the year, tied for 8th in the league, along with Bennett, who is number 2 on the Wave team. Carlos Munoz, who is 4th in the league, tops the Wave with 34 points. Still a minute to go on the power play for the Wave. Tavernese is the defender out at the point for Rochester. Oh, they moved in front. Bennett shot stopped by Sotilli. And Mark Sotilli able to come up big in the first huge opportunity against him.
Good save there. Bennett right on the doorstep. But Sotilli, he's equal to the task in front.
Munoz trying to get around. Now we'll play it back out. Liete and OP and Tavernese falling over. Oliviero sets it up. Munoz. Oh, shot underneath the crossbar, but it wouldn't go down. Giuliano keeps it alive. Giuliano trying to pry it out of there. Now Bennett touches over to Quiros. Still 25 on the power play for the Wave. Liete step over. He'll launch a three. That one high and wide. Rebound. Munoz. Header off. Rebound Bennett. His shot is blocked. As Rodriguez tries to come out of there. Rodriguez, Tavernese, Schindler. And let's see who else is out there for Rochester. Doing a pretty good job right now. That's Stephan Basso. But finally, Munoz able to slump one through. Power play goal for the Wave. Late 2-0.
Well, you see Sotilli there. He made a good save in front on Bennett. Munoz had one that went off the underside of the board and out. And then Munoz finishes it with 4 seconds left on the power play. You see Rochester's man-down unit got caught a little bit high, which enabled Munoz to walk in, and he beats Sotilli to the far post and gives the Wave an early 2-0 lead.
14th goal of the year for Carlos. He leads the Wave in scoring with 36 points. Fourth in the league, as I mentioned, Vahid Asadpour from the Missouri Comets tops with 49.
The Wave
I believe it was Liete on the assist, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check that.
Went to training yesterday. The Wave was working on their power play unit against that Rochester Diamond, and one of the things that Keith Tozer emphasized was getting that ball low, down deep in the corner, and you saw Munoz take advantage of the training right there.
Ryan Siggets, Mark Kudlisik are the officials tonight. Wave in black, they move it right to left as you look at it. First period action. There's Pablo getting some pressure as he drops it back to the goalkeeper Feenstra. Pablo, the Wave's offensive hero in that game against St. Louis. He had the hat trick, including a big goal that broke a 9-9 tie in the fourth quarter of that contest, as you see Mauricio Salas committing the foul there. Salas, Brazilian native, the second leading scorer in the league last year behind teammate Doug Miller. Oliveira cracks one up, shot deflected. Now Salas will go to the corner to get it as he has some pressure from Tony Walls. Now Liete blasts one from the top of the area, blocked before it got to the keeper. Liete keeps it going. Liete centering in front, shot and goal! As somehow J.C. Banks able to get a piece of that one in front, and the Wave leads it 4-0.
Take another look right here. It was Liete along the right boards. Ball off the boards, and Rochester, 3 players right there in front of Sotilli, and no one able to clear it out. The ball trickles in behind the 42-year-old netminder.
J.C. Banks, the Milwaukee native, rookie out of UW Green Bay, indoor rookie. He's played outdoors for a couple of years, ironically with Rochester, the Rochester Lancers of the United Soccer League. And J.C. has got a goal to make it 4-0. That is his 5th of the year. Marcel Liete with the assist.
See Josh Rife there, Tom. He's going to take a timeout here as soon as the referees allow play to continue here.
Marcio now with 11 assists, including 2 on the first 2 goals for the Wave tonight. The power play tally by Munoz. And now the even strength goal by J.C. Banks. As you look at Josh Rife huddling his troops over there. And again, we documented for you rather unsettled week for Rochester. Actually, it didn't go as they originally planned, but they were settled in here, I guess you could say, for the last 4 days. So let's throw it down to Wessex.
Steinhoff's relaxation suite with Joshua, right? All right, Joshua, I'm going to ask you a question. And over here on behalf of the Steinhoff's Wave of Hope, how long has Make-A-Wish Wisconsin been granting wishes? Is it 10 years, 2 years, 30 years, or 5 years?
30.
30 years is correct! Good job, Joshua. You're walking home with something free. Congratulations, and let's go Wave. Back up to Hart and Tom in the booth.
4-0 Milwaukee. As you get a look at Mark Sotilli, the 42-year-old, making his indoor debut, and he's seen a lot of activity already here in the first period.
Well, when you have a new netminder like that, first game in the league, it's important that the team in front of him step up, block shots, tight on your man in the box. And you saw that goal right there. 3 Rochester defenders standing in front of him and no one able to clear the ball out. You got to help your goalkeeper out tonight if you're the Rochester Lancers.
After the foul call against Milwaukee, we got a
Bato.
Bato was bumping a little bit with Fabinho down there.
Oh, and there's Bato coming back with some elbows.
And right now the officials are going to blow the whistle and separate this right away. Bato, hard-nosed competitor. Of course, a lot of you fans will remember him from his days with the Chicago team.
And teammates right there, Fabinho and Bato. Bato Radoncic.
Yeah. Back with the old Chicago Storm. In it comes Basso with a shot. Took it with the right foot. He's a natural left footer, but had it on the right foot that time and couldn't get on top of it. Goalkeeper distribution coming from Marcel Feenstra and the Wave. Feenstra, the Dutch native, plays it out. Looking up for Nick Pereira.
3 lines.
So Fabinho guilty of the 3-line pass.
And Rochester making a change on the 3-line violation. It's a new rule this year where you can change on a 3-line pass. Okay.
And it pays off.
There you
Salas
go.
knocks in a 3. Well, the Wave hasn't given up very many 3 balls this year. That is only the 4th surrendered by Milwaukee. They've scored a league-leading 11. So there's still a +7 in that category. Rochester gets its 7th of the season. They've given up 10, so they're still a -3. Well, we talked about Mauricio Salas in the Badger Max pregame show as well as the start of the broadcast start, and he certainly...
Well, Salas didn't catch it that well. You see the Wave wall break right apart, and that is not the way you train. Coach Tozer, when he sees that one on the tape, not going to be happy with his wall. Can't be any movement in that wall. That shot would have been an easy block for that wall. Right through the 2 players.
Wave's set-piece defense has been very good so far this year, Art. That is definitely something we have not seen very often. Oliviero tied up with the defender, and Giuliano going to get called for the foul. So for Mauricio Salas, the 35-year-old Brazilian, he's got his 4th goal of the year to go along with 5 assists, 14 points. Unassisted off the restart. It's a 3-point goal.
But when you got scorers like Doug Miller, Mauricio Salas, the last thing you want to do is allow them to get off early in the game. Big goal for Salas, both personally and for Rochester here, 6 minutes into this contest.
Greenfield with it on the touch from Oliviero. Jonathan, the South African native, circling back to midfield. Greenfield now in his 2nd stint with the Milwaukee Wave. And all told, Johnny Greenfield, 6 years with Milwaukee, 10 as a professional indoor player. The ball chipped back in. It's the top of the glass, and Greenfield heading it back to Feenstra. Had to go up there and get it, but the big guy able to do so. That was Ante Chope with the goal. He may not have been able to climb the wall to get that one.
Could have been some problems. Feenstra, 6'3", I believe.
What would you say Ante is?
Ante's about 5'9", but an athletic 5'9".
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
He would have probably had to parry that one over the top.
Certainly one of the more entertaining goalkeepers that we saw in recent past seasons. Munoz getting some pressure in the back. Foul on Salas. Now that's his 2nd. Remember, in the MISL, you get 3 personals in each half. On your 4th, you give up a 2-minute power play. He's already got 2 quick ones here, and we're still in the first half of the first period.
And give Coach Josh Rife some credit on that timeout, Tom, just before the Rochester goal. Not a good start giving up the 2 early goals to the Wave. They take the timeout. The Wave makes the mistake by playing it over 3 lines, and then they break the wall defensively, and Rochester right back in this game. So good timeout by Coach Rife.
Handball called, I believe, on LSO, number 7. LSO getting back in the lineup for the first time since sitting out the last 3 via coach's decision. Foul going to be called there against the Lancers as Troy Cole, the veteran out of Mars Hill University, gets called for the foul.
Yeah, Luan was out of the lineup, coach's decision. Tenzin Rampa was able to play a couple games with Luan out, and Tenzin had a couple goals, but then got hurt in St. Louis.
Tony Walls with a crack just off the mark from 3. J.C. Banks, his former college teammate at University of Green Bay, will head it back. I'll tell you, both Walls and Banks have been excellent first-year additions for the Wave. And again, both local guys. J.C. from Milwaukee, Tony from Wauwatosa, coming in! J.C. Banks! Shot to go!
Right on cue, Tom. Just right when you were talking about him, a giveaway by Rochester in their own zone. And you saw Sotilli falling backwards, and Banks beats him to the near post up high.
I don't think he wanted any part of this one. Look at this.
Giveaway there, but you see Sotilli already going down to his knees. You got to stand up, make yourself big. We just caught the tail end of that goal. Would have liked to have seen the giveaway by the Lancers in their own zone that led to it.
Well, Sotilli looks like a pretty good goalkeeper, but I don't think he's seen too many guys in the Rochester
House League
cracking a shot like that. As you take a look at JC, whose father Jimmy was a veteran player for the Wave back in the late 80s, early 90s, and of course member of the U.S. national team.
JC, a natural right-footed player, but he crushed that one with his left foot. His dad, who was a natural lefty, would have been proud of that shot.
No doubt. No doubt. So the Wave re-seizing the momentum for now with the goal by Banks, his second of the night, 6th of the year, 6-3. One other game tonight in the Major Indoor Soccer League. We'll try to give you some updated scores. That has the Missouri Comets visiting the Pennsylvania Roar in Reading. And you would think Missouri an overwhelming favorite, but Reading's been able to keep the score down at least start the last couple of games. They only lost 16-5 to Baltimore in their last outing after getting lit up for a combined 50-2 in the previous 2 games.
Well, you're not thinking they're an overwhelming favorite, Tom. They definitely are an overwhelming favorite over the Roar.
So Wave will put it back in play. Marcello Fontana tracking it down right now. Again, Milwaukee in the black uniforms. They go right to left as we look at the action here in the first period. Nice crowd gathered on a Saturday night here at the U.S. Cellular Arena, including many of the alumni who played in the alumni game prior to this one tonight. Art Kramer orchestrating the white team against Keith Tozer's blue team. And a very spirited contest won by the Blues, 27-17.
Well, seeing that the blue team was made up of players that played in the last 15 years and the white team was made up of the players that have played from 15 to 30 years ago, not much of a surprise.
I think by handicapping terms, it was probably an even game. Fontana to the near corner. Oh, coming away with it that time was Edgar Bartolomeu. Bartolomeu is the way we used to say it, but apparently we're putting the wrong emphasis on. Anyway, the 39-year-old still looking pretty spry out there. Eventually, a foul was called on the Wave as Nick Pereira drew the call. Now Salas. Mauricio, a pronounced left foot player, but he can crack the ball with his right foot occasionally.
Salas down. He may have pulled his hamstring there, reaching for the back of that right hamstring.
Oh, and you can tell he's in pain right there.
He reached out and stretched to try to tackle.
Boy, this would be a major loss for the Lancers. For sure. Let's take a look one more time.
Watch right here as he reaches with that left foot. Then he actually kicks at Greenfield with his right foot. Not sure if that's where he injured his, right up in the hamstring, the upper area of that right side of his leg.
So they check out Mauricio Salas on the field. All this happening with 5:44 left to go in the first period. The Wave leading at 6-3. Don't forget, Milwaukee will be home each of the next 2 Saturday nights here in the month of January. They will go to Independence to take on the Missouri Comets Friday night. Click on MilwaukeeWave.com to find the link to watch that game. That's Friday night from the Independence Event Center in Independence, Missouri. Wave and the Missouri Comets. 7:30 Central Time kickoff. And then we'll come right back and do it again between the two teams right here at the U.S. Cellular Arena a week from tonight, Saturday, January 18th. 6 p.m. game time as the Wave hosts the Missouri Comets. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE, or check it out at MilwaukeeWave.com. As you see Salas walk off, and hopefully he's going to be okay as far as the Lancers are concerned.
Yeah, it looked like he was walking off pretty well there. I assume he will be back, and as you said, the Lancers cannot afford to lose their big, high-scoring left footer. And really has started this game, the first 10 minutes, with a real spark, a real edge about him. Looks like he's motivated to play tonight.
Liete pass ahead. He was dumped and the foul is called. Marcio put down as he was maneuvering and had to bang his shoulder or his elbow there. He took a hard spill as he was pushing up on the dribble. And Wave medical staff going to have to come out and take a look at him there. See Larry Sales, the original member of the Milwaukee Wave organization. The Wave has been around for 30 seasons. Larry Sales was the first employee of the Milwaukee Wave.
And it was off the ball, Tom. I did not see it.
He got tangled up behind, I want to say, perhaps Somerville, but again, we'd have to take a look at it on the replay. Was going to lay it off and then go on a run, and ended up getting his feet tangled up. Again, looks like his right shoulder, perhaps.
Brazilians beware tonight.
Yeah. Marcio, like Mauricio Salas, a Brazilian native. Bato going over to slap hands with him there. Hope he's okay.
We've had some physical play here early on. You saw Bato getting involved early on. And Salas goes down, and now Marcio Liete, all within the first 10 minutes of this match.
Don't forget, Wave is also going to be home on January 25th as well for another 605 contest here at the U.S. Cellular Arena. So each of the next two Saturdays at 605, January 18th, January 25th. Call the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE, to order your tickets. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. Back to the action here. Greenfield knocks to the corner. Oliviero settles, lays it back out. Shot by Pablo, deflects wide. Again, Pablo coming off his first career hat trick down in St. Louis on Friday. Munoz laying out to play that one off the end board. Lancers come away with it. Ball is looped ahead far side as Bato runs it down after the lead feed by Paul Craig that time. They'll cycle it back out now. J.P. Rodriguez. J.P., the veteran out of Belmont University, spent 4 years with the Wave. Was a teammate of Josh Rife here with the Milwaukee Wave. And once again, it looked like J.P. had retired from indoor soccer, but his old buddy Josh Rife gave him a call, and here he is back on the turf again. Good step up there. Munoz takes it away. Coming upfield 1-on-3, 1-on-4. And Carlos got banged down, but he was able to keep it alive. Excellent effort that time by Munoz. We approach the 4-minute mark here in the first period. Victor Quitos controlling for the Wave. Victor in his 10th indoor season, his first with the Wave, and that was a ball that he wished he had back. Into the stands from behind his defensive line, not touching turf, glass, or boards, and it's a free kick, top of the arc. You do not want to give up a lot of these with guys like Miller and Salas on the other team. 1, 2.
And there's Salas again. And that's two Wave mistakes by their defenders clearing balls. The first one, 3 lines by Fabinho. That time, out of bounds to the top of the arc by Victor Quiros. And you see Salas running up and just roping one past Luan Oliveira.
Well, his shooting percentage is going up rapidly, that's for sure. 11:04 of the first period. Mauricio Salas has his second of the night, 5th of the year. He's got both of the goals for the Lancers. That one unassisted off the restart, just like the first one was. Now the Wave coming in. We got a whistle, and Ian Bennett going to be called for the foul.
On those restarts from the top of the arc, Tom, the goalie's got to take one side and then the wall takes the other. Looked like Feenstra was over on the same side as the wall, and Salas with a direct shot right into that lower corner. And that's a handball, intentional handball there.
No doubt about it. As Dougie Miller, wearing those electric orange shoes, gets called for it. Miller, 44 years old, the reigning scoring leader and MVP in the MISL. He had just an amazing year last year. Played college ball for Loyola of Maryland back in the 1980s. LSO cracks a three. That one just off the mark. Now able to break up the pass as he comes down the line, but Bartolomeu is there to knock it away. Bartolomeu, I guess is the way he wants that pronounced.
It's going to take you a while, Tom. You've been saying it that way for how many years now?
I think I'm just going to have to call him Edgar.
I think that's a good idea.
Nick Pereira, top of the area, had it knocked away, and as Milwaukee battles to get it back, foul is going to be called as Juninho with a little flop down.
And going back to Edgar, I think that's what he has on the back of his jersey anyway.
So let's go with that.
By all means.
Yes, let's go with that. Maybe his close friends call him Eddie B. Now pass back in the zone. Somerville's got to chase it down with pressure from Pereira. So Tilly, who looks fairly calm distributing the ball thus far for his debut in the MISL. Lancers move it up. Basso to Salas. Centering across. Nobody home. Somerville will track it down. Somerville hustles off the field as they move it into the zone near side. Salas with it. Back out, he finds Elliot Foskey, and a trickling shot! Feenstra just got the hand down to save that one from going in.
Feenstra was screened on that shot. It took a deflection in front, but well played by Marcel to get that right hand down. That would have been a three-pointer.
And Foskey, the former star from Seattle University, off to a great start offensively this year. He scored more points already this year than practically last year. Oh, great inboard pass. Pablo in front from Liete. And the Wave back on top by 3 at 8-5.
Once again, the Wave has worked hard on getting to the box, getting to the far post. That time, Schindler, number 26, got caught ball watching. Watch again, Liete working down that left side against Salas. And look at the back post. See right there, Schindler actually was marking Fontana. And the player on the offside, slow to recover and get goal side.
Well, Schindler should have checked his list twice on who to mark there.
But once again, you got a lot of different hats you got to wear when you're in the back. You've got to mark your man, but you also have to communicate what's around you. And that time, player wide open for the Wave at the far post. Pablo with the easy finish.
Pablo's 5th of the year, his 4th in the last 2 games. He has certainly taken advantage of his opportunity to get back in the regular lineup.
Well, it's difficult enough shutting this Wave team down with the likes of Marcio Liete, Luan Oliveira, Carlos Munoz. Now a guy like Pablo is coming to life scoring goals. Spells trouble for the rest of the league.
Wave trying to see if they can get another one before the end of the period as Munoz maneuvering. And we get a foul called. Troy Cole getting called for the foul. That's his 2nd of this half. Kudos to the corner for Oliviero. Less than a minute to go here in the first period. And this one has all the makings of a big-time shootout the way it started. Good step up there by Tony Walls to take it away. Munoz can't get past Edgar. Here he comes back the other way. 3v3. And a turning shot stopped by Feenstra. Had good position that time. Roll out for Munoz. Wave trying to hustle as Rochester was changing up. Oh, turning shot by LSO. Good save there by Sotilli. Now this one deflecting ahead. Miller trying to track it down, but spun over his foot. Still could be time here for the Wave if they can get it downfield as Rodriguez and LSO knock each other down. And now Sotilli, the keeper, with it. He will roll it out, and that will do it for the first period. A high-tempo first period finds the Wave on top 8-5 over the Rochester Lancers. We'll take a break, come back with the second quarter. This is Wave Soccer.
Steinhoffels is proud to support the Milwaukee Wave and salute our veterans and current military members. To honor their families, Steinhoffels is donating 5% of all sales through this Friday to the Fisher House of Wisconsin. Please help provide a home away from home for families whose loved ones are recovering from serious injuries at the Milwaukee VA Medical Center. Visit steinhoffels.com for more information.
It's time now for our One Call Winner giveaway. Let's give Jenny Watson a ring. Hey Jenny, congratulations. You're the winner of River Law Office's One Call giveaway. River Law Offices. One call, that's all. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Long Shot Extreme Dance.
As we get ready to start the second quarter, take a look at some of the first quarter highlights. Wade getting on the board first, facing 42-year-old Ricky Mark Sotilli, who made a good save, a couple of good saves early, but Wade was eventually able to score on the power play. Carlos Munoz coming up with the goal. Take a look at it one more time. Good step in there by Carlos, his team leading 14th goal of the year. And Marcel Feenstra set up J.C. Banks in front. J.C., the rookie out of UW Green Bay, Milwaukee native, of course, legacy player whose father played for the Wave back in the 80s and 90s. And then we just missed the tail end of it there, but after the Wave get the 4-0 lead, Marcel Salas would score the first of his 2 goals in the first period, a 3-pointer off the restart. Salas with the 2 goals accounting for 5 points for the Lancers. Banks with 2, Munoz with 1, and Pablo with a goal for Milwaukee, accounting for their 8 points. 8-5 Wave. Second period, Milwaukee in black, they go left to right. And now as the Lancers come on the counterattack, near wing, Bennett strapping ports. Poked away the corner as Tavernese had it. Tavernese former star at Siena University in Loudonville, New York. Bennett trying to find Fontana in the middle. Couldn't quite make the connection. Now Pereira, and he's going to get called for the foul as he dumped Juninho over on the far board. Second on Nick in this half. So he's got to be careful. Take a look at Pereira, the third-year man out of UCal Santa Barbara. Originally from Spain. Gary Boughton controls as he lays it back out. Boughton again is their leading scorer. Wave will keep the wraps on him in the first period, but I'm sure he's going to present a factor as the game goes on tonight. Good job by Fabinho to control. Far side. Now Liete trying to get top of the area. A little touch through, broken up. Salas back the other way. Got cut off, but he keeps going. He'll launch a long three. Struck well, but good save there by Feenstra. And Salas is coming out shooting tonight. No question about it. Scored both of his goals off free kick situations.
And both those free kicks a result of Wave defenders clearing the ball. Not even being pressured, but clearing the ball over 3 lines on the first one and then out of bounds, top of the arc for the second one.
Again, some uncharacteristic mistakes from the Wave defenders. So far, the offense has been able to pick them up. Now Liete working against Edgar. Centering for LSO. Broken up. Pablo gets it back as he slides the pass to John Greenfield. Back over to Pablo. Pablo already with a goal tonight after a hat trick against St. Louis last Friday. Sends it to the corner. And Sotilli able to cover up. What's your quick perspective on Sotilli thus far, Art, from what we've seen?
Well, he's hanging in there, and that's what he's got to do. I don't think you can expect him to go out and win the game for you, but just make the saves you're supposed to make. And then stay away from mistakes, clearing balls out of bounds, and allowing easy goals to go in against you. I thought other than the one he was falling back against J.C. Banks, I thought he handled himself pretty well. But if I'm the Wave, if I'm in shooting range, anywhere near the 3-point arc or inside, and I've got an open shot, I'm letting fly tonight.
There you get a look at Sotilli. 42-year-old rookie. Great story, no matter how this one turns out. Making his MISL debut. Miller steps up to take it away from McKinney. Here's Doug Miller. Got it back on the right foot. Shot blocked in the middle. Either Banks or McKinney able to get a piece of that one. Now Carlos Munoz is going to get called for a foul in the corner.
Well, some casual play by the Wave here in this first half. That time a play off the boards by Quiros on a simple pass allows Rochester to get in transition, leading to this free kick.
Oh, in it comes. That one just deflecting wide right. That could have easily gone to the back of the net right there. And Rochester will cycle it back out at midfield.
Tavernese that time in front of Feenstra, almost redirected that restart in.
Munoz, far wing. J.C. Banks. J.C. with a couple of goals already. Munoz, oh, great crossover!
Oh, and that's a foul.
Wow!
Munoz skins the defender, gets pulled down with the right arm.
Boy,
Rochester very fortunate there.
I'll tell you what, Gary Boughton, I think it was, and he was willing to concede the foul because Munoz had burned him so badly. Now Nick Pereira comes back and bangs it through.
Well, and there's the easy goals you want to stay away from if you're Sotilli. Because that time he gets caught out of his goal trying for that initial ball and then gets caught falling down. Watch again, the Rochester goalkeeper misplays that ball. Then he goes down to his knees, which allows Pereira to beat him up high. First the misplay and then falling down. And an easy conversion that time by Pereira.
7th goal of the season for Pereira. The Wave's third leading scorer coming in. Victor Quiros will get the assist. as Victor picks up his 5th of the year. I believe it was Kudos who served that one in from the back.
And then a really bad dance after the goal by Pereira and Ian. I mean, let's just be honest, Tom. If you're going to dance, make it a good one.
It needs some work, let's put it that way. Lancers from the corner. Salas getting ready to put it in. And his little touch back to Fauski. Broken up, and now Fauski going to get called for a foul. So, the Wave will bring it up, leading 10-5.
Here you see Elliot Fauski, known as the Mohican Warrior, when he plays in Rochester with this extravagant hairdo that he usually has.
Yeah, he's got that spike mohawk look. It certainly toned it down. Of course, he hasn't been home enough to probably access all the hair products he needs to keep that thing in shape. We talked again about the Lancers, how they were supposed to return last Sunday from their 2-game road trip in St. Louis and Independence, and they never made it back.
Now it got to Chicago from Missouri, and then were unable to connect from Chicago to Rochester. Spent 2 days in Chicago before arriving in Milwaukee on Wednesday. You know, some of the players actually, their luggage was misplaced, so they only had the clothes that were on their back.
I tell you, Chicago's not a good place if you're on a budget to try to reload that wardrobe.
And the thing was, with the weather, none of the hotels by the airport were available. None of the hotels with cheaper rates were available. They were staying downtown at the Embassy Suites. So give Soccer Sam and the Rochester ownership a ton of credit for taking care of these guys in some very adverse circumstances.
Boy, absolutely. Well, at least they did make it to Milwaukee by Wednesday, where the cost of living and the friendliness a little more reasonable.
Not only were the players here, they also had 5 front office employees with them as well, Tom. You talk about raising the costs.
Wave controlling, Kudo's pass broken up by Salas. Salas has been the one-man offense for Rochester thus far with a couple of free kick goals. Now Lawton tried to slip back. Good job, Greenfield pushing up, trying to make it 3v3. They'll knock it back for Pablo. Does a good job to track that one down. Updated score, by the way, from Reading at halftime. Missouri leading their Pennsylvania Roar 7-0. Oh, what a blast shot to goal! Either Greenfield or Oliviero. I guess Giuliano at the post, but I think the ball might have been going in anyway on the blast by Greenfield. Let's check it out again.
And you see the long ball in, and this Pablo takes the initial shot. Actually, that's Greenfield, and you see Oliveira right there, and Doug Miller, number 19, just ball watching there. And Edgar, Miller's teammate, getting into Doug Miller's ear, saying, you've got to get goal side there and not allow a tap in.
Well, I think that ball was going across, but Giuliano not going to take any chances. And you saw kind of the wry smile on his face. So he gets the goal. Greenfield will get the assist. I think a goal line camera may have still put that ball possibly over the line. But nonetheless, we'll give it to Jules. 39 years young and still going strong. The player assistant coach of the Milwaukee Wave.
Another goal inside the box for the Wave.
And Milwaukee leading 12-5. Out of the back, they play it. Headed away by Schindler, and eventually Sotilli able to get it. Now, there's no question, Mark Sotilli is getting a baptism under fire here. Rolling into Milwaukee to play the Wave. There's 2 places in this league. Well, I guess you could say 3 if you want to count Missouri at home, but certainly if you roll into Baltimore and Milwaukee, making your debut, that's certainly a baptism under fire.
Well, especially with no experience in this league. It's just not a good position for him to be in here today. But not a lot of options for Josh Rife.
And I will say, though, that his actual distribution as far as with his feet, been pretty good so far. And usually that's the toughest thing. That's one of the things that really separates the professional keepers from the semi-pros.
Now the speed of play at this level is just so much faster. Balls are coming at you off the boards quicker, and here's going to be another distribution error by the Wave.
Well, although Feenstra was trying to poke it away from the hard-charging Elliot Foskey, I believe that was. But unfortunately, he was still behind his line. And now let's see if Keith Tozer Company can stop this restart chance for the Rochester Lancers coming from the top of the arc.
I'll give you odds on what the play is going to be. Think Salas is going to come up and rope one?
Yeah, I would think so.
If he doesn't, there's something wrong.
I would think so.
I was able to run the restart team for a number of years as the Wave assistant coach, and what I told Greg House and the rest of the players that were on the restart team is, if something's working, then just keep going back to it until they stop it. But there's no sense in going to something new until they prove they can stop it the first time. You score, go to it again. You score, go to it again. And so if Salas is going to run up and rope this one, I'd have to say the odds are pretty good.
Again, Wave home a week from tonight against the Missouri Comets. 6:05 game time here at the U.S. Cellular Arena. That's one night after they will be in Independence to take on the Missouri Comets. Friday night the 17th, 7:35 p.m. Central Time. Check it out on the link on the Wave's YouTube channel at MilwaukeeWave.com. And then Wave also home again on Saturday, January 25th, hosting the St. Louis Ambush here at 6:05. Call the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE, to order your tickets. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for all things Wave, MilwaukeeWave.com.
Wave taking away the left foot this time.
And Miller will take the shot, blocked by the defensive wall. Good job by the wall to hold its ground as Fontana trying to come out of there, and they trips down Miller. Foul is called.
I'm sorry, Tom. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know, and it wasn't necessarily that Salas was hitting these great shots. The Wave wall was breaking. You've got to take a chance that that's going to happen again. You've scored 2 direct restarts. Why would you go away from that guy in that situation?
Salas cracks one that didn't miss by much there. Well, I guess if you do have the reigning league scoring champion MVP, you do have a good second option, but I kind of agree with you, Art. Until a guy proves he can hit the fastball, keep throwing him fastballs. Or curveballs, I guess would be a better analogy.
Well, if you're in that Wave wall or you're on the Wave bench, you're going, oh, thank goodness Salas didn't hit it again. I mean, you're glad that guy's not taking the shot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He, Sean Boney, Greg Howes, those are 3 of the guys not exactly look forward to being in the defensive wall against. Juninho, back heel. Shot by Bato, just off the mark. Follow header by Juninho, just off. Good chance that time by the Lancers.
Good strike that time by Bato, and Juninho had a sitter if he would have just headed that ball down. Had the wide open net in front of him.
Edgar will play it for Rodriguez. Looks up and found a wide open Joe Cavernese that time and put it up a little high. Take a look at that earlier save by Marcel Feenstra that Juninho was almost able to head in on the rebound. Here's LSO. LSO coming off a 3-game inactive stretch. Well, if nothing else, his legs should be good for this one, you would think. Tony Walls, LSO, out high, working against Troy Cole. Now Fabinho looks in for Munoz. Carlos, picked up by Basso, not going to get the call. But they will get Tony Walls for
Carlos
pushing down.
Not feeling the love out here tonight, Tom.
Definitely not. Somerville cut off by Greenfield, now taken away. Munoz and Fabinho coming 2-on-3. Munoz in his second season, first with the Wave. He was runner-up as Rookie of the Year to the Wave's LSO last year while playing for Chicago. Speaking of LSO, turning, shooting. Oh, nice save there by Sotile as he dove down to get that one. Good turn and shot by Luan Salas Oliveira, and a nice stop there by Mark Sotile.
Well, you see some tendency starting to form with Sotile. Good on the low shots, Tom. Seen a couple good saves down low, but has a tendency to go down early. The Wave needs to shoot from the waist and up against this goalkeeper.
Bowski, good hustle there as he was getting pressured by Greenfield to head it back for Sotile. 4:20 left to go. Oh, take away Pereira. Nick Pereira trying to come in. Pereira with a shot for goal!
Or shoot low. As that one sneaks under Sotile.
Take a look one more time. Pereira does it all himself.
You see, that's a save that McInerney is going to make 99 times out of 100. But without having any MISL experience, tough situation for this goalkeeper. Pereira, the beneficiary.
Nick Pereira, who could have been Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago, gets his 8th of the season. And the Wave out to its biggest lead now at 14-5. Giuliano Oliveira, by the way, picked up his 3rd on the previous goal off the assist from John Greenfield. And now Pereira with a pair tonight to match J.C. Banks, who has a pair. 14-5 Milwaukee. Salas trying to find Boughton on the wing, broken up. Now McKinney, the second-year man on the University of Cincinnati, plays it up the board. Lancers will get it. Rodriguez near side. Ian Bennett has it. Munoz. Oliveira, a little touch. Bennett trying to get away from his former teammate Rodriguez. Drives one across the goal box. Fontana just a bit late getting there. Oliveira trying to play it to the post. And Fontana getting called for a foul as he knocked down Juninho. Arcello, 40 years young. And I don't know how he avoids any gray hair, Art.
Phenomenal shape, he really is. You look at him and Giuliano, I don't know how either of those guys do it.
You would not believe they are the ages they are. You'd guess 5 to 10 years less for sure, just upon not knowing what their biographical data is. Foul going to be called. Fontana gets another one. That's his 3rd, so he's got to be careful. If he gets another one now before the end of this half, the Lancers will get a power play. 3 personals in each half. On your 4th, your team gives up a blue card. Edgar and Dougie Miller. Well, that might be the difference between this year with Doug Miller and last year. Last year, that one's going on frame and maybe going in. But he mishit that one. Still, Miller himself, quite a physical marvel at the age of 44.
Yes, he is. You just mentioned Fontana. This guy, Doug Miller. Talk about a guy who looks...
And remember, Miller took, what was it, Art, 8 years off from indoor before coming out of retirement to play for the Lancers when they were formed back prior to the 2011-12 season. Now, he was playing outdoors during the same time, but to me, that's one of the amazing things is he's able to step back on the indoor carpet and play like he never left the game.
Smart player, fantastic shape. Big-time goal scorer over the years, both outdoors and indoors.
Former Loyola Maryland Greyhound, Doug Miller. Born in 1969. Almost feels like a compadre of ours, Art. Well, especially you. At least you are a product of the 60s.
No, he's a lot younger than I am.
Edgar sends one downfield as we come to the 2-minute mark of the first half. Bato trying to create some space as Kudos marking him tightly down there. Now Edgar will play it over to Schindler. Bato. No whistles, they play on. Somerville with it. Somerville, a former star at Syracuse for a couple of years. At Syracuse University. Into the corner, Kiddos. Deflected away, now turning, shooting. Tavernese, and the save made by Feenstra.
Not only a good save, but a great job to hold on to that ball and not allow a rebound in front of goal by Marcel Feenstra.
That ball had some pace on it. As Joe Tavernese really got a good crack on that one. Feenstra. Now Carlos Munoz. Nice little touch. Coming through Fabinho. Shot just off the mark. And then Tony Wall's trying to follow. Couldn't get the foot on, but Munoz clears back to Feenstra. Wave showing some pretty good possession here as we come down to the final 35 seconds of the first half. Munoz one-on-one against the defender Rodriguez, and a shot and save made. Sotilli. Good save by Sotilli. I think he might have been screened on that play and was able to make the save without giving up the rebound.
Good job to hug the near post that time after a nice move that time by Munoz.
Munoz with one of the 7 goals for the Wave so far in the first half. Now, Banks trying to get around the defender, poked away by Juninho. 5 seconds to go. Fabinho's going to load up from center field, and it's blocked by Salas, and that'll do it. Well, excellent second quarter for the Wave. They outscore the Lancers 6-0. And as they go to the locker room at halftime, Milwaukee owns its biggest lead of the game thus far. It's the Wave 14, the Rochester Lancers 5. We'll take a break and then come back with more. This is Major Indoor Soccer League.
In 1984, the club debuted before a near-sellout crowd of 3,000 fans at the Milwaukee Auditorium.
To this day, I still have a lot of people who come to me and talk about, the auditorium, how much fun it was to go watch a game there, and how it did feel like just a great atmosphere for the initial stages of the Milwaukee Wave soccer. When you were playing in front of that many people, I think every one of the players realized how special it was in the beginning, because there just weren't many soccer games being played at that time with having that many people.
In 1989, the Wave moved into the Bradley Center, playing its first game in front of an electrifying crowd of 14,000 and registering its first winning season with a record of 24-16.
Every major sporting team was playing there. The Bucks, the Admirals, and the Wave was going to be included in there, and that the whole idea of us being in a place where all the big time people were was really a big step up for us.
1992 marked the Wave's rise into prominence with the arrival of coach Keith Tozer.
The franchise had a very good reputation, both on and off the field, but had really gotten any playoffs or championships. So I thought it was a great opportunity for me. And as I told those guys, I wanted to come from long term. Didn't know it would really be 21 years, but it was really a start of really some of the best years of my coaching, and it's been a privilege being here for 21 years.
In the dispersal draft that same year, Tozer selected goalkeeper Victor Nogueira with the 4th overall pick.
And at that time, some of them asked me, well, why did you pick him? Because Victor was going to miss the first 7 or 8 games because he was in the goal in China. And I said, well, I wasn't picking Victor for 8 games. I was picking him for 8 years. And went on to really live a big legacy with the Milwaukee Wave.
The final piece of the puzzle came in 1993 in the form of Hall of Fame striker and all-time Wave leading goal scorer, Michael King.
Here's Hatrick, still looking. Hatrick, center of the play, Mcamully, shot, knocked down, King, reels,
A long-time good friend of mine, Victor Nogueira, we played together for a number of years. He had a pretty successful year. He knew Coach Tozer real well. I was looking for a new beginning after my surgery. I thought Milwaukee was going to be a pretty good fit. I came up here and worked summer camps prior to the season starting, and the relationship really grew from there, not only with Coach Tozer but also with the city of Milwaukee, which quickly became home for me. I felt very comfortable, and a number of years later, and it's still home for me.
The next 4 seasons were cut short by first-round playoff exits.
We had a lot of the pieces that we thought were going to help us get through to a championship, but there was something missing.
Finally, we figured it out.
Completely by accident.
Wow, the answer was there the whole time.
Then one day at practice, showed up, I didn't have any shorts. In fact, they're still missing. I think Victor may have something to do with that. So Larry provided me with this big XXX baggy pair of shorts that, was kind of alien to me, but that's what I had to go with.
That day he had a triple hat trick at our exhibition game. Truly magic.
No, it's the shorts.
Milwaukee Wave Indoor Soccer. It's the hottest game in town.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Was that us? Was that really us?
I don't get it. What's so funny? What? I'm Brazilian.
Even Keith Tozer could not escape this fashion crime.
I'm kind of old school, but I got nice legs, so why not show them off? The ladies loved them.
Hopefully you're not going to show that to too many people.
Once we changed to the looser fitting shorts, it all came together.
With their new fashion statement, the Milwaukee Wave won its first championship in 1998 by beating the St. Louis Ambush 4-1.
And the floodgates are open now. It is a tidal wave with Milwaukee leading 21-10. It all came together this year. The clock ticking down.
This championship is for these men. I love these guys.
After their first title, the Wave went on an incredible 14-year run, making another 9 finals appearances and winning championships in 2000, 2001, 2005, 2011, and 2012. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the winningest franchise in professional indoor soccer. Under new owner Sue Black, the Milwaukee Wave look to continue their brand of dominating soccer.
Since 1998 when we won our first championship, and then 5 more after that. It's just been an amazing run.
It's been a fantastic experience, and the great thing is the Wave is still going, so get out there and support them like you support me.
The fans, we need the fan support. The fans got to come to the game. It's one of the most craziest games, fun, exciting, fan-friendly, family-friendly, everything. It's got everything you want. It's got basketball, soccer, hockey, all involved. And plus, you got some good-looking guys on the team, and it's definitely a great time. And we come out and support. We're always in the community. We always like to give back.
I would like to say thanks for all the fans, especially for me, a guy coming from Brazil, who didn't speak English much. I still don't, but I'm getting better.
I can't believe it's been 30 years. This is my 5th year with the team, and it's been amazing so far. I hope many more years, but I just want to thank you guys at the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for supporting the Wave, supporting us, and everything.
Without you guys, we can't be here, and you guys are a big part of this organization, and it helps us a lot, so thank you.
On our 30th anniversary, myself, on behalf of the Wave, we really want to thank you for all your years of support. You guys are amazing.
As long as we don't wear these,
I think we'll do just fine.
Everybody asks me all the time how many years I have left. Got a lot more years left to go. A lot more games to play. Not done yet. Let's bring it home, the trophy, back to where it belongs, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Scored a lot of goals from the Milwaukee Wave midfielder forward Jason Zitsky. He played in the 1940 World Cup U.S. national team. His son plays on the team right now. Give it up for Jimmy Banks. One of the toughest midfielders ever to don a Milwaukee Wave jersey. Now has won 2 Big East championships for Marquette University. Coach Louis Bennett. Came from Argentina, started early on with the Milwaukee Wave midfielder, Cacho Cordoba. One of the early Milwaukee Wave players just recently inducted into the Wisconsin Soccer Hall of Fame, Dave Hodson. Midfielder from Jamaica, played for the Milwaukee Wave early on, Hayden Knight. The Magic Man, one of the few guys who have their jerseys retired from Cudahy. The Magic Man, Peter Kinesic. From Ghana, has won 3 MISL championships, one of the toughest defenders to don a Wave uniform. Loveless, the Chief Aka. One of the captains in the Milwaukee Wave, instrumental in 3 championships, also a member of the U.S. Futsal national team, defender Troy Dusowski. He was the MVP of the alumni game, making 85 saves. Also, won many, many games in the goal between him and Victor Noguera, goalkeeper Dan Green. Former captain of the Milwaukee Wave, also the U.S. national futsal team, director of coaching for North Shore United, 11 years with the Milwaukee Wave, All-Pro Joe Hamas. Was one of the goalkeepers early on with Victor Noguera and Dan Green, goalkeeper John Howard. Midfielder, forward, Kyle Lance, another local player. Scored the bicycle kick in the winning game over at the Bradley Center. Scored a ton of goals. Also a member of the U.S. Futsal national team, forward Brian Lofton. From North Carolina, defender, head coach at Carroll University, defender Ricky Mobley. He wore his heart on his sleeves
from Scotland and Canada, one of the best midfielders to ever come onto the field at the Milwaukee Wave, Steve Morris. Also one of 4 men to have his jersey retired. Member of the U.S. Futsal National Team, All-American, All-Pro, All-Star MISL, defender David Maxim. Came here at a young age of 19 years old. Scored a ton of goals, won 2 championships, Alan Osmanovic. One of the fastest defenders for the Milwaukee Wave, also scored some great goals in 2 championships, defender Matt Schmidt. Football has the Heisman Trophy winner. Soccer has the Herman Trophy winner. This player was the Herman Trophy winner, U.S. National Futsal Team, All-Star player. He's the coach at Creighton University, Johnny Torres. Also, one of the toughest defenders early on, Tim Alioto. Also a member of the U.S. Futsal National Team, played with the Milwaukee Wave for 10 years, won 3 championships, defender Patty White. Midfielder forward, also a member of the U.S. National Team, Brett Wiesner. Todd Dusosky could not be here today. Art Kramer, legend, Milwaukee Wave, MISL, our color contest. Announcer, Art Kramer. The first player to sign with the Milwaukee Wave back in 1984. Midfielder, Chris Clausen. Midfielder for 7 years with the Milwaukee Wave, midfielder Craig Polsell. Let's hear it for the first mascot, Dave the Wave. 30 years with the Milwaukee Wave as their head athletic trainer, Larry Sales. And I purposely left him for last. He's the all-time leading goal scorer. He's been an MISL All-Star player, All-Pro player 10 times. Captain of the team for 16 years. Give it up for your captain, Michael King. Also, playing for the Rochester Lancers, J.P. Rodriguez, and their head coach, all-star defender, Josh Rife. Let's give it up one more time for these great men who have played now in the history of the Milwaukee Wave. Thank you. Also, one of the former owners of the Milwaukee Wave just had a birthday the other day, turned 38, Charlie Krause.
Hey, whoa. Alumni, hold on. Hey, everybody pay attention here. How about we recognize the one mainstay that's been consistent here in Milwaukee? How about a big hand for Keith Tozier? The Rock of the Wave.
Who wants some free Wave stuff? Make noise, Wave fans!
Free Wave mini balls, courtesy of Edge Promotions.
right, you see the score there. Wave up 14-5 at halftime. Remember, today's halftime show brought to you by Badger Max, premium sports drinks. Wave facing the 42-year-old rookie Mark Satilli in the nets today for the Lancers, making his MISL debut. He made a couple of saves early, but Wave finally able to take the lead on this power play goal by Carlos Munoz, his team leading 14th of the season. And Marcel Feenstra would set up J.C. Banks for this conversion in front. 4-0 Milwaukee. J.C. would score a couple of goals for the Wave in the first half tonight. And then following a Wave three-line pass, Marcel Salas. A three-point goal to get the Lancers on the board, but Wave would follow up as J.C. Banks goes rooftop. Almost put a hole in the top of the goal there as he blasts one through. Again, his second of the night already. Marcel Feenstra, the starter for the Wave again, and he looked pretty sharp in the first half. Good setup there as Liete was able to find Pablo at the back post. And in the second period, Greenfield with a shot. Juliano Oliviero there to tap it in. Take a look one more time. As that one was probably going in for Greenfield, but hey, better be safe than sorry, right?
Well, and all things considered, a great first half there by the Milwaukee Wave. Other than the defensive restart breakdowns, it's a perfect half defensively. The 5 points, all courtesy of the Rochester Lancers restart team.
Take a look at the stats, and actually the shot totals favoring the Wave, although not as pronounced as you might think.
And we saw it last game, Tom, as well, the blocks. Not seeing the blocks here when you were at the Cellular Arena.
Yeah, obviously there were some in the first half, but next home game, as we mentioned, coming up a week from tonight. That's Saturday, January 18th at 6 p.m. when the Wave hosts the Missouri Comets. That's one night after the Wave will play in Independence against the Comets. Call the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE, to order your tickets. You can also buy online at MilwaukeeWave.com, your official source of all things Wave. Information, tickets, promotions, futsal, upcoming summer camps. Well, once we flip the calendar art, it's already summer camp preparation time, as you well know.
Can't get here soon enough, that's for sure.
Summer definitely can't get here soon enough, that's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. Almost seemed like Memorial Day weekend with temperatures rising up into the 30s after
I learned what a polar vortex is, though, Tom.
We all learned what it was. I'm not sure we want to go through it again. All right, Milwaukee with the kickoff. They go right to left here in the third. Wave dressed in black against the Rochester Lancers in gold. Lancers, a third-year team. They have never beaten Milwaukee. 0-6 lifetime, 0-3 in Milwaukee. Here's Stefan Basso.
And that's a three.
Coming in, and he scores. And I believe you are right, Art Kramer. A three-pointer for Stefan Basso. Let's take a look one more time.
And you saw it. You missed the tackle right along the boards, but Basso that time, a little toe poke that beats Feenstra to the near post. Quickly, Wave coach Keith Tozer is going to take a timeout, but Basso won a tackle along the near boards. The Wave defender had taken a chance and tried for the tackle. Actually, it's not going to be a timeout. They're going to take a look at this goal to make sure it was a three-pointer, but indeed it was. Basso well behind that three-point arc.
Yeah, no doubt from our angle up here. Second three-pointer on the night for the Lancers. So we check it out one more time. And again, from this angle, not much doubt.
Now he's well behind the arc, and as they have the ability to do this year, the referees can look at video review on all three-point goals. So MISL head referee, director of referees, Ryan Sigich, who's working the game tonight, decided to take a quick peek at that one, make sure they got it right.
Sigich and Mark Kadlisik are officials here tonight. Only had to call one penalty in the first half. That was for Rochester. Too many men on the field. Early in the game, that's how the Wave eventually got its power play goal from Munoz. So, the Lancers, third goal of the night, but two of them have been three-pointers, and that's why they're only down by 6. Oh, Feenstra making a save there, and the follow in front. Up into the stands, Dougie Miller with Feenstra down and out. Not the easiest of conversions, but I'm sure that's one Miller would love to have back.
Well, the Wave needs to be careful here. They've come out very casual here to start the third quarter. And Rochester looking to get right back into this one.
Now, whistle, what do we got?
Well, Mark Sotilli, the rookie, not knowing the rules, actually handled that ball outside the penalty area and then dribbled back into the area before picking it up. It's going to lead to a top-of-the-arc restart.
Any house league you play in, they'll let you do that, but not the MISL. Free kick, top of the arc for the Wave. Now, Rochester bench complaining.
Well, they're going to complain because the Wave is looking to make a substitution. And the Wave's going to take a timeout.
So Keith Tosa used the timeout so he can get the personnel on the field that he wants for the restart. Hopefully not going to need them later on in the game. But a good opportunity here. And again, you cannot substitute after a foul, which that was. So they have to call timeout in order to get the guys they want on the field otherwise for the restart. The Lancers now, with 2 3-pointers tonight, they have 8 on the season. Third in the league, only behind the Wave, which has 11. And the St. Louis Ambush, which has 9. Wave now has given up 5 3-pointers this year, scored 11, so they're still a +6. And Marcel Feenstra has given up 4. I'll tell you, Marcel, he has a very good record. He's 4-0 so far this year, but save percentage and 3-point goals, definitely not where he wants to see him, that's for sure. All right, Leite, top of the arc restart, touches off Ian Bennett, shot and goal! Let's look at this on replay. That was a no-look shot by Ian Bennett. Check this one out, Art.
Well, this is a play they practice quite often. It's just a little short pass from the passer Leite there to Bennett, who times it. It really puts that back defender in a precarious position. Do they step to the ball? If that happens, Bennett would dummy it for the player at the back post along the boards.
You've heard of no-look passes. There's a no-look shot from iPlush as he celebrates his bobblehead night with a goal. Now he only needs 2 more to get that hat trick.
Well, normally you would see Marcel Leite play that ball to Everton. Everton not in the lineup again. And so Ian Bennett assumes that role on the restart team.
Ian with his 11th of the season. Leite with his 4th assist of the night. And give Marcio a total of 13 helpers on the year now. So Leite, who's always been an excellent playmaker, right now, the number 2 playmaker in the league. Oh! Tony Walls playing off the defender and scores. And you got to believe the Rhinos are not going to be very happy the way this goal evolved.
Well, the Wave, a quick answer to Rochester's 4-0 run. See that time, Walls winning the ball along the boards. I can't tell who the Rochester defender was, but not a smart play to try to win the ball by leaving his feet. All he needed to do was get goal side and contain there. Walls wasn't going anywhere. He'd had his back to the goal.
Well, Tony may have gotten away with a little bump there to create some space. Kudos will get the assist as he launched the pass down there. Victor with his 2nd of the night, 6th of the year. And after the 3-pointer by Basso had initially gotten Rochester right back in this thing, the Wave answered with goals from Bennett and Walls within a 28-second span of each other to go up 18-8. And unless the Lancers start circling the wagons a bit, Mark Sotilli could be victimized here for a few more goals. You see Josh Rife passionately trying to explain what he wants done over there.
And we said, here's the things that needed to happen with Sotilli in goal. First off, everybody in front of him has got to play above their heads, blocking shots, getting goal side of their players, not giving position in the box. And then he can't make the simple mistakes. He's got to make sure he makes the saves he can make. You saw a couple goals already, and it's understandable, and it's expected. Right there, and once again, number 20 for Rochester. No reason to try to challenge there along the boards.
Juninho.
Yeah. You know, just get goal side there. Walls isn't going anywhere when you sold yourself defensively. Walls had an easy conversion from right in front.
Again, Tony, the rookie out of Tulsa East and UW Green Bay, gets his second of the year.
You mentioned early in the broadcast about J.C. Banks and Tony Walls, how composed and how good they look as rookies. Both with a goal here in this one.
Fabinho, a little bit too aggressive, taking that one away from Salas. Foul is called. Wave with 18, and we still have nearly just over 28 minutes left to play in this game. We thought the goals were coming fast and furious in that alumni game. Still got a lot of time to go here.
What was that final? 27-17?
27-17, and I thought, Art, just a phenomenal effort by your team to cover the projected spread of 10.5.
Is that what the line was out of Vegas?
That's what I thought it was
after
that draft was conducted.
All right.
James Danaher looking good at the end there with those orange shoes. A goal and an assist and a couple of near misses. Oh, in front. Shot was knocked down. Rebound follow. Shot! Stopped by Feenstra. And another attempt by Miller off the frame. And then Schindler up into the stands. Check it out. Feenstra's going to rob Gary Boughton at point-blank range. Then Dougie Miller, one time. Miller again unlucky there as he put it right underneath the frame, but it wouldn't go down. And then Jake Schindler up into the stands.
Well, that's how it's been going for Doug Miller this year. You saw good chance in front, and Feenstra stones him right there. And then on the rebound, Miller bangs it off the inside or the outside of the near post.
We get a look at Marcel Feenstra now in his 7th season with the Wave. And Marcel, a very impressive 47-11 record during the regular season during his time with the Milwaukee Wave. So Tilly will knock it down the other way, and Feenstra will backpedal and play it up for Ian Bennett. Marcel Feenstra, 32 years old, will turn 33, a native of Den Helder, Holland. And more recently, the head coach at Waukesha North High School, the boys program there. Diete, pass taken away. Now Radoncic to the near side, battling with McKinney and Fontana. And Fontana got pushed down. Foul on Bato. Bato looking a bit frustrated out there. He's been a little bit wound up since the start of this thing. Very solid player. Well, it's going to go against Somerville instead. But talking about Bato, very solid player who's always been a tough opponent for the Wave when he played with the Chicago teams. Diete lays it off. Shot blocked in the middle on the shot by Pablo, who's looking for his second goal of the night. Ball cycled back. McKinney will play it for Feenstra. Judson McKinney, who also started last year with Chicago. He got hurt just a couple games into the season in his rookie campaign and was scooped up by the Wave in the dispersal draft, or I should say as a free agent after the Chicago Soul folded up shop. Foul was called on Jonathan Greenfield prior to that. Wave moving it right to left as we look at the action here in the third period. Thus far, it has turned out to be a great 30th anniversary alumni night for the Milwaukee Wave. Oliviero back to McKinney. Avoids the sliding defender Tavernese. Now here's Liete trying to play it for Greenfield. And ball deflected up into the stands. Foul is called. Greenfield and Fauski having a few words as they go across. Well, that man right there has had a long night so far, but you can see the intensity in his eyes. Mark Sotilli, the 42-year-old rookie. Oliviero had it taken away. Now Bato lays it off for Rodriguez, trying to flick it back. Greenfield breaks it up. Top of the area. Juninho was trying to go up for a bicycle kick in traffic as the shot was eventually put up in the stands.
You know, getting back to Mauricio Salas and Doug Miller and their woes in scoring goals this year. You know, last year they had 78 goals between the two on 307 shots. And if you look at their shots this year, Tom, coming into this game, they had 88 shots in 9 games between the two players. So they went from an average of about 13 shots per game to about close to 10 shots per game right now. So they are getting a high volume of shots. They're just not converting at the rate they were last season. You know, some people have said, well, because of this new defensive style they're playing under Josh Rife, that these guys aren't getting the same opportunities they're getting last year. That's why their scoring's down. But, you know, they are getting a high volume of shots. And with that being the case, you would think that their production would be higher.
Miller, Gonzalez, back to Miller. Save, made, rebound, follow, Boughton, he scores. Well, there was a good 1-2 between Miller and Salas that set up Miller for the initial shot. Feenstra made a nice save, but nobody there to cover Gary Boughton on the rebound, and the veteran out of Medill College in Rochester bangs it in. Let's check it out again.
Take a look at the little play from Miller into Salas. Good play by the big man with his back to the goal in tight spaces, and then Boughton cleans up the rebound there.
4:47 the time of the goal as Gary Boughton, the Lancers' leading scorer, tied for 8th in the league with Ian Bennett coming in. Gets his 12th goal of the year to go along with an assist for 26 points. Miller will get the assist as it was his initial shot that was saved by Feenstra that resulted in the rebound coming to Gary Boughton. So the Lancers again trying to get back in this thing. Wave still up by 8. LSO at midfield keeps it alive. Bennett, Oliveira pushes it in now. Walking in is J.C. Banks. Centering across for Bennett. Knocked down. Very close to another goal for Ian Bennett. Good look that time by J.C.
Yeah, but I would have liked to seen him pull the trigger, even though it was a bad angle from down in the corner. Any shot you can take on frame, making this goalkeeper work.
JC looking for the hat trick. Fabinho fires a shot, so Philly able to cover that one up. Now to Edgar. Midfield as he tries to play it for Somerville, broken up. And now he finds Salas, 2-1 with Juninho. And the pass just off the mark. Salas had the right idea, couldn't quite connect. Feenstra to slide out to kick that one away. Now Salas. Lancers looking like they're re-energized after that last goal. Salas plays one in off the board. And a nice kick away that time by Feenstra. Attempted, followed by Rodriguez. Couldn't get much on it. Wave trying to work it on the back as Fabinho chips to midfield. Comes to Fauski. Gets it back. On the back heel from Salas. Shot was blocked. Good effort there that time with J.C. Banks who went down to block that one. Now Schindler will chip it back into his zone. So Tilly totally lost track of that, but fortunately for him, there was nobody else fast for the Wave. Into the corner. They lay it back. Schindler drives one through. It's just wide right. And the Lancers will recycle at midfield for Miller. Trying to get it in. Radoncic. Back heel is broken up. Troy Cole will track this one down at midfield. We talked about the Wave and their back-to-back games against the Missouri Comets this upcoming weekend. Friday night in Missouri at 7:35 Central Time, and then right back here at the Cell Saturday night, the 18th, at 6:05 Central Time. Rochester will be hosting Syracuse in a 7:05 Eastern Time game this upcoming Friday, January 17th. So, big one coming up for the Lancers when they return home to play their arch rivals Syracuse Silver Knights, but the Silver Knights have had their number 9 straight victories.
Yeah, 9 straight over the past 2 seasons, huh?
And I'm sure that is getting very old with the Lancers organization. Pereira. Purdy. Got to the goal. Nick Pereira. He's got the hat trick, and the Wave leads it 20-10.
Well, great turn that time by Pereira. I think it was Fauski he was working on, but beat Satilli to the back post. Nothing the goalkeeper could do on that one, but let's take a look at the turn here.
See it one more time. I didn't see who fed it into him at the post, but I can assure you Satilli has not seen too many turning shots like that with back to the goal. And
it was actually Troy Cole defending, and you see how Troy Cole leaning forward with his upper body. You've got to lay off a big, strong guy like Pereira there. Defend with the lower half of your body.
Send it over to Riggs.
Ignacio from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, here to present a check. Ignacio, tell me about the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Makes a lot of dreams come true for young boys and girls.
Absolutely does. So on behalf of the Milwaukee Wave and the Wave of Hope, we'd like to present you guys this check. Make-A-Wish Foundation, making wishes come true. Thank you guys very much. Sending it back to Art and Tom up in the booth.
All right, thanks, Riggs. As the Wave of Hope making another wonderful charitable donation to a fine organization in our community, as you see some of the fans here. And again, nice crowd here on a Saturday night. 2 more Saturdays to go as far as home dates are concerned with the Wave at the U.S. Cellular Arena. January 18th, 6:05 against the Missouri Comets. Missouri's first trip in here. That's going to be a good one, especially coming off the game Friday night in Independence. Suffice to say, Art, there should be some intense physical action on the field in that one. And then on the 25th, the St. Louis Ambush will roll into town for another visit. Again, 6:05 game time each night. Look up, order your tickets at MilwaukeeWave.com. Go ahead.
Well, Missouri and the Wave have split this year. Remember the first game of the season, the Wave with the thrilling comeback, down 6 late in the game to win in overtime. And then Missouri coming back and just pounding the Wave the next time out.
15-6 was the most recent meeting down in Independence.
But you can, good bet that Coach Tozer will take those 2 games and use that to prepare his team like a playoff series. Wouldn't be surprised for Coach Tozer to take that type of approach with his team in training.
You know, it's interesting. Since that game, the Wave has gone on to win 3 straight, looking to make it 4 here with a few lineup changes as Marcello Fontana comes up. And the Comets, who look like at that point they were ready to really assert themselves, but they've just kind of struggled a bit. They're 2-3 since that time, although they're going to pick up another win tonight in Pennsylvania.
Well, the Comets over the last, since they've joined the new MISL, if you will, they're 12-27 against the Blast and the Wave. And so it's been those 2 teams. And really the Blast is 12-3 against Missouri all time, or since the new MISL. But where Missouri needs to improve, they need to improve defensively. They really do. If they want to walk away with that trophy, the MISL championship trophy, it's going to have to start on the defensive end. No question they can put points on the board.
Whistle and a foul, and behind the play, is that a card being shown by Mark Kudlicek?
I don't believe so. I think it was just a simple foul.
Oh, okay. So they were letting the advantage be played on. So Munoz picks up the foul. Couldn't tell the way he had the angle of his hand whether or not he had a card there or not. He was so stationary for a moment. Again, just the one penalty in the contest that was early in the first period when the Lancers got called for having too many men on the field. Now Feenstra has to come charging out, knocks it into the zone. Oliviero trying to come in. What a shot by Giuliano! His second of the night, and the Wave leads 22-10. And I don't care what your goalkeeping experience is, that is a tough one to stop.
Well, it's just because it's such a surprise. You expect the player to bring that down. And watch this one-time volley off the boards. You saw
a little bit lower than I thought.
Drop those hands down there. You got to keep your hands up.
No, upon further review, I got to agree with you, Art. I was thinking it was more rooftop at first, but hey, give Oliviero still credit.
And it's
for a nice conversion there.
It's a natural tendency of a goalkeeper outdoors to put those hands down by your side. Indoor, as we used to see with Victor Nogueira, keep those hands up above your head. If you need to make the save with your body if the shot's low, then so be it. But you cannot allow a ball to get over your head with your hands down.
Marcel Feenstra will get the assist, his first of the year. And it was a good play initially by Marcel to come out to the line and clear that one away. Now Pablo up for Pereira. Laying it back, Ian Bennett. Ian will crank up a three. And Satilli is there to stop that one. So Oliviero with a pair. J.C. Banks with a pair. Nick Pereira with a hat trick tonight for Milwaukee thus far. Basso able to knock it away from Pereira. As the Wave cycles it over to Ian Bennett. Ian, who's got a goal tonight on his bobblehead night. And you know he would certainly like to get another one if he can. Now Pablo trying to get around Juninho. And ball deflected in. They're going to say last touch by Juninho as he slid out to try to block the shot. Corner kick coming for the Wave. Speaking of the Baltimore Blast, they are off this weekend. Sitting at 7-2, just a half game and back of the Wave coming into tonight's contest. Center on the play knocked down as Kudos was trying to get through off the corner kick pass. Now Gary Vaughn back the other way. Little step over. Good job by Pereira tracking back defensively to poke it away.
It was a good run through the box by Quiros on that restart. The problem was Marcio played it to his left foot instead of his more natural right foot. There was a big lane there. Ball needs to go to Victor's right foot.
Marcio already with 4 assists tonight. Now J.C. Banks looking for a hat trick. Finds LSO. Be nice to see LSO get one here. Oh, shot! Good save by Satilli. Rebound sent across by Liete. LSO still battling for it. Troy Cole coming away with it. Cole with a pass that's knocked down by Banks. But he's able to eventually dribble it out of there. They work it over to Miller. Miller one-on-one, got it on the left foot, and a good block that time by McKinney. Good job by Judson McKinney. Stay with Miller on that crossover to the left foot. Schindler plays it in, broken up. Banks and LSO, it's a 2-on-4. And a little misread there on the 1-2. Wave hasn't had too many misreads here tonight offensively, leading 22-10.
And there's a 3-line pass.
And the call's made. Milwaukee will come back for the restart at its line. Rochester was able to capitalize on a 3-line pass by the Wave earlier tonight. That's how they got their first goal on the 3-point restart by Mauricio Salas. Salas has a couple of goals, including a 3-pointer. Basso's got a 3-pointer. Gary Boughton has the other goal for the Lancers. All right, let's see what the Wave's going to do here. Viente will lay it off far side, and the shot by Oliveira is eventually hauled in by Satilli. J.P. Rodriguez just barely able to touch it away from Pablo. Here they come. Edgar. Fauski. Fauski played his college ball at Seattle University, former Seattle University Red Hawk.
He's been quiet tonight, Tom, the Mohican Warrior, affectionately known in Rochester.
Wave has done a good job on him thus far. Schindler with a shot. He wanted a handball on the shot that was blocked up high. Wave moves it up as Oliviero finds Fontana. Marcello had it knocked away and then cleared upfield. And what do we got? Too many men, I believe, going to be called against somebody here as Ryan Sikic goes over to talk to the official in the box. Who's it against, though? The Wave is going to get called for too many men on the field. First penalty against Milwaukee, and it comes at 13:08 of the third period. So 2 penalties in the contest, both for too many men on the field, one on each team, as you see Keith Tozer looking on. Oliviero will come over to serve the penalty.
Not the cleanest game defensively for the Wave. But you know, you talk to Keith Tozer, he'll tell you every game takes on its own personality. And no matter what you think it's going to be or how you think it's going to go, sometimes games just go certain ways. And the main thing is getting a result, which the Wave appears is going to do so today.
Lancers have struggled on the power play this year, just 2 for 18 at 11%. They're dead last in the league, and the Wave is the top penalty-killing unit. They've killed off 11 out of 12, 90%.
That's surprising with Salas and Miller on their power play. I believe they were last in the league last season as well.
Yeah, that was with a different coaching staff. Salas. Oh! Unlucky for him there as he puts it off the frame. That one had to be clocked at over 80 miles an hour. Here comes Ian Bennett shorthanded. Bennett, McKinney, Pablo, and Kudos are the penalty killers of the Wave. Schindler along with Salas, Vaughton, Miller, and Fauski. That's your power play unit for the Rochester Lancers. Now Juninho jumps on as he moves it across for Salas. To the corner, turning shot, Miller is blocked. Pablo with it. Played up for Kudos. Victor Kuros, still extremely spry, despite the fact he will turn 38 in September, the Mexico City native. Juninho, another relative veteran, 39 years old. Originally entered this league playing for the old New Jersey Ironmen. He gets it straight away and rolls one in as Mountain was looking for the redirection, scooped up by Feenstra. That will do it for the third period. The Lancers will be on the power play for the first 8 seconds of the fourth quarter. So another good period for the Wave as they extend their lead to 12. We'll take a break and come back with the fourth quarter. It's Milwaukee 22, Rochester 10. This is Wave Soccer on the major indoor soccer league.
Oh, no. It's supposed to go in the middle. That's all right, though. Thank you for playing, Scott. Thank you for coming out.
By that much.
Get on your feet, do some flexing. Showing off your muscles with the Elite Flex Cam. Show your guns. Stand up and make some muscle.
Keep flexing those muscles and see what you got on the Elite Flex Cam. Get yourself on the Jumbotron.
All right, underway with the fourth quarter as Lancers begin with 8 seconds remaining in a power play. And now a foul going to be called against Rochester. So this is in essence going to kill off the power play here. That was J.P. Rodriguez who picked up the foul. Wave in black going left to right here to start the fourth. Liete, nice little move as he drove around, but Rodriguez stayed with him. JP not letting his former teammate get around him there. Pablo with it. Pablo coming off the hat trick against the St. Louis Ambush last week, and he's got a goal tonight. Milwaukee has had 2 goals each from J.C. Banks and Giuliano Oliviero, and a hat trick, 3 goals from Nick Pereira to spark the offense. Feenstra under pressure, able to dribble away from Tavernese. Back to Marcel Feenstra. He will launch long, and it's headed up in the stands by Stephen Basso as Oliviero was there behind him.
Good to see a lot of the alumni players here tonight, Tom.
Great group, great turnout tonight for that game. And very entertaining game, I will say.
Yeah, some guys still fit, look like they can play.
How about the Aliotos at, what are they, 50,
55? 50? No, they're
55. And how about Lito Zabala at age 56, the oldest guy out there today.
Tommy Alioto scored a goal.
Yeah.
You look at some of these guys, Michael Richardson, Moxham, Michael King. These guys could still play, I'm convinced.
Tremendous shape, really, for most of the alumni. And it comes, and shot deflected away as LSO tried to crank one up.
Good to see some of the early guys from the first years of the Milwaukee Wave. Tony Pierce played pretty good in goal, didn't he?
Oh, he made a couple of saves. I'll tell you, he robbed Patty White, I think it was, on a diving save that might have been the save of the game. Although Danny Green certainly played a tremendous game for the Blue Squad tonight. How about Matt the Animal Clark coming back, Art?
He played well. He played fantastic as well. Once again, another one of the original Milwaukee Wave players, Matt Clark.
Yeah.
Pete Knezick was on the bench, the Cudahy connector.
Looking good as well, the connector. Yeah. One of your former teammates back in the day.
Former roommate as well. You know, you talk about the Milwaukee Wave, the Rochester Lancers have a tremendous history as well. A great soccer city of Rochester, New York.
No doubt, and you see Josh Rife, their first-year coach, trying to see if he can get the Lancers turned around this year. Foul was called as Salas was battling for position with Fabinho, and now free kick time for the Lancers. Virtual top of the arc, and I got a feeling we're going to see Salas give it a ride this time. Well, he hesitates, lays it off, and the shot by Troy Cole off the frame. Rebound! Follow up in the stands by Basso.
He should have pulled the trigger. The Wave wall once again breaking apart. Watch as he goes to approach the ball. Watch the Wave wall right there. Look at the Wave wall. There's so much movement in there. Yeah.
Well, again, I'm not going to blame anybody. I would not want to stand down there in front of it, but there's no question.
It'll definitely be addressed by Keith Tozer because there's not supposed to be any movement in that wall.
Now Rodriguez trying to get after this one, and he's going to be called for the foul as he ran over Pablo. See JP, the former star of the Belmont Bruins. There's Pablo. Yeah, again, all right. I know what you're saying. A professional player is supposed to hold his ground. Well, a high school or college player is supposed to as well. But the specter of Mauricio Salas, or how about back in the days of Sean Boney? That would make you think.
Well, I was a fan of the game as a young kid when the MISL first came on the scene back in, 1977, 78, something like that. Started my career in 1980. I've never seen anyone go to the hospital by getting hit with a shot. I just haven't, I took one for Michael Richardson one time, and the blood was squirting out of the nose, but you know what? You're going to live. It's a soccer ball.
Greenfield getting stopped by Fauski. He'll reload back to McKinney. Again, the Wave does not have to be in a hurry with a 12-point lead at 12 minutes to go. LSO, back heel lead. McKinney drives it in off the glass. It'll come around near side to Greenfield. Milwaukee trying to win its third consecutive home game in impressive fashion. They closed out 2013 with a couple of impressive wins over St. Louis 24-4 and then Syracuse 20-10. And they've hit the 20s again, 22 as foul is called as LSO got held up there. Well, it'd be nice to see Luan get a goal here, Art. Get his confidence rolling a bit offensively after that 3-game layoff. And it comes, and shot blocked by Salas, but they're going to call handball.
And Salas arguing that his arm is tucked in behind his body, but referee Ryan Sigich ruling that handball, his arm obviously in an unnatural position.
Good restart chance here as Liete will play it to Kudos. Oliveira, but shot was blocked that time by Boughton, who jumped out to get it. Juninho trying to flick one out of the zone. He does. Walls will get it. Now Liete. Marcio crossing over, lays it off, and the shot save, Sotilli. Oh, Kudos got all of that one, and a nice save by Sotilli. Again, it comes in, and Carlos Munoz, you can put it on the board. 24-10, Milwaukee.
I believe that was a 2 just inside the arc, but we could take another look on the replay here. This one was close. Off the restart, though, Liete's 5th assist of the afternoon, or the evening, I should say. And Carlos Munoz, once again, stays hot for the Wave.
What an acquisition he has been. He gets his 2nd of the night and 15th of the year at 3:55 in the 4th period. We will look at it one more time.
Just inside, a 2-pointer.
And Marcel Liete with his 5th assist, as you mentioned, Art. 14 on the year. Vahid Assadpour leads the league in scoring with 49 points for the Missouri Comets. And he had 13 assists, which was 2nd in the league coming in. Michelle Millwood from Syracuse, 14 to top the league. So Liete now is tied for the league assist leadership. Wave coming into tonight's game had outscored their opponents 127-75. They were 3rd offensively and number 2 defensively in the league. Rochester had scored 106, given up 140. It's shown some better signs defensively early in the year, but certainly these last 4 games, they're starting to give up a lot of points. But tonight, obviously in tough circumstances with their goalkeeping situation, so that didn't help. Out. Turning shot out of the corner. Just turned away as Tony Walls stepped up to take a shot. Now Tony trying to come back. Tripped down, and Somerville only going to get a foul. That's check it out again. I thought that could have been 2 minutes.
Could have been, but 24-10, fourth quarter. Can't blame Ryan Sigich for keeping the card in his pocket there, Tom. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, but you know what? It's 24-10. I don't have a problem with it.
I'm with you. Sigich and Kalichik have done a good job officiating this one tonight. Now Munoz coming away, trying to split 3 defenders. Edgar goes down to knock it away. Good play there by the 37-year-old. And Fontana is assaulted by Mauricio Salas there. Perhaps a bit of frustration by Mauricio.
Well, if you're a Wave player, you got to know that's coming. I mean, let's face it, they've been on the road now for 8 days? They planned on being on the road for 2. They're getting. Got to be a little frustrated.
Yeah, I would think
I'd be playing 1 and 2 touch if I'm wearing a black jersey right now.
You're going to have a very, very tired but certainly happy group of Rochester Lancers who are going to be able to get home tomorrow.
And you've got to give Mark Sotillo some credit in the goal.
Oh, no doubt.
And there's another good save, but very difficult circumstances for the guy.
Think of it this way, Art, as a shot by Munoz off the mark. Rebound, follow! Fontana through the 5-hole. 26-10 Milwaukee, and they've got their season high. So the Wave on an 8-point run right now as Munoz gets the assist, and it comes at 5:43 of the fourth period.
See it again. There's the initial shot. Then Fontana wide open at the back post. Through the 5-hole of Sotillo.
Marcello's got his 4th of the year. And Carlos Munoz now picking up the assist for Carlos. That is his 4th of the year. He's working on a 5-point night. Give him 39 points. He was 4th in the league scoring race coming in. I was going to say about Mark Sotillo is think of, let's say, back in the day when Brian Moose Cook had been the kind of warm-up practice keeper of Mark Litton, and just think if Keith Tozer had to plug one of those guys in because the other 2 were injured. And again, they could have played respectably, but would have been almost a near miracle to expect those guys to come out and win. Good stop there, Feenstra against Doug Miller. Now LSO trying to track this one down the corner as Sotillo steps up to deftly clear it away.
Now this is where, if you're Mark Sotillo, the next time out, you go over to the bench and you tell the equipment manager over there, could you call the Hyatt and get that Whirlpool fired up, bud? Because he's definitely going to need it tonight. And deservedly so.
Salas still looking for a hat trick. Remember, he had the first 2 goals of the night for the Lancers.
Oh, no. Another injured player there for Rochester.
They will not be sad to see this road trip come to an end. Again, the Lancers will be back home this upcoming Friday, January 17th, to take on the Syracuse Silver Knights. And I suffice to say, Art, as far as the rest of the Lancers season, it's getting down to crunch time now. You almost think that they're going to have to beat Syracuse at home if they're going to stay in this playoff.
No, the first thing they're going to have to do is they're going to have to go home and try to address the goalkeeper situation. See if they can figure that out. Come out against Syracuse, a team that has just had their number here the last 2 years, and get a big win at the War Memorial, right? Or Blue Cross Arena, I should say.
Blue Cross Arena.
Yeah.
Encroachment warning, Milwaukee.
So the Wave gets an encroachment warning on the free kick coming up. We still have half of the fourth period to go in this one. The Wave already with 26 points. All right, Schindler on the ball. Jake Schindler, the second-year defender, trying to play it out. Now, Salas will get it working against Greenfield. He'll put it on the right foot for a shot. Broken up. Bowski is back to get it at midfield. Again, another good all-around effort by the Wave here at the U.S. Cellular Arena. They will be right back here a week from tonight to take on the Missouri Comets in another 6:05 Central Time game. They will go to Missouri to take on the Comets on Friday night at the Independence Event Center in Independence, Missouri. Make sure to check it out on the Waves YouTube channel. Centering ball. Oh, Satilli stopped at it one time, but the bobblehead man has got another one, his second of the night, 28-10, Milwaukee.
Well, there's two. Before the game, I said he needed three since it was bobblehead night.
He is trying to make Art Kramer's prediction come true. Second of the night.
Saved that time by Satilli.
And 12th of the year. That was a good save by Satilli initially. Well, if this is the only game he ever plays in the MISL, he'll have some great stories to tell, Art. But unfortunately, right now, it's probably not feeling too good. And Ian Bennett, the bobblehead man. He's got two. Carlos Munoz has two. J.C. Banks has two. Giuliano Oliviero has two. And Nick Pereira's got three. Is that Eddie Piscarich who ended up with a ball there? Did they show him? Eddie Piscarich, one of the Wave alumni.
We love you. Happy 40th.
Take a look at our list of birthday people. As you saw, Allison Phillips, Wave Vice President, celebrating number 40. And everybody else in the groups here tonight, too. You got to believe they've had a great time.
Saw a lot of points.
No doubt.
And as you said, still 7 minutes to go in this one.
I got a feeling, Art, we have not seen the last of the goals for tonight.
Yeah.
There's Wave alumni, and I guess you'd call him legend now, Joe Hamas.
Yeah.
Former team captain. Etched in history, if nothing else, Art, for that
wife Katie
championship game-winning, series-clinching goal against the Baltimore Blast back in 2012.
Where are the kids?
Well, they must be practicing.
A babysitter. Big night out for Joe and Katie.
I think Joey's got them doing ball handling drills down in the basement there. Edgar controlling out front over to Juninho. Yeah, you know, it's interesting with the alumni and some of their kids. But, a lot of them have grown up and are looking like they're going to be some pretty good players amidst the group here. Foul going to be called here against the Wave.
So Matt Schrader from the front office was wondering the last time the Wave hit 30 points, Tom. Remember there was a 35-5 game against Chicago years ago.
It's a good question. As timeout is going to be called by the Lancers, so Josh Rife trying to see if they can perhaps get a goal out of the restart situation here. But, you know, talking about the Wave kids now, the offspring of Wave alumni, and we were talking, Art, about, you know, some of these kids are looking like they're going to be some pretty good players spread around. Perhaps the one guy, though, that you mentioned from our former Wave United player and certainly Wave practice player, Digital Takawera, and his son.
Fantastic player.
Looks like he's going to be a big-time player.
Right foot, left foot. Can run all day. Just loads of skill.
That might be a name to keep an eye on. That, what is he, 10 years old now, you think? No, 14.
No, Tux is 14 or so.
So he should be
plays up a couple years. But
should be emerging onto the regional, if not national scene pretty soon. As again, you see our next home game coming up a week from tonight against the Comets after being in Missouri Friday night. Again, you can watch that game. Go to the Wave website or the Missouri Comets website. Click on the link to watch it on the YouTube channel. Friday night, the 17th, at 7:35. If indeed you don't make a road trip down to the Independence Event Center to see the game. And then right back here the following night, Saturday, January 18th, for a 6:05 kickoff. Call the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE, or you can order tickets online at MilwaukeeWave.com. That is going to be a very intense couple of games between the Wave and the Comets.
Think about the restart since Salas has scored his 2 goals. He hasn't shot one ball direct since those 2 goals. I mean, I just don't get it. We've seen him pass. We've seen him off the ball on another one. I mean, he's got to come up and rope.
Nope, he lays it off. And they shot up in the stands for Stefan Basso.
Great pass. Great look. It was a great pass and a good look that time. Give credit for a well-designed play, but, you know, at the end of the day, I've got this guy who needs to score goals. He suddenly breaks out and scores 2 big goals. He's shooting every restart until they stop him.
I hear you, buddy. You got a Reiniger, you got a Howes.
Yeah.
You got a Salas. You're letting them rip. And especially when you score 2 goals on your first 2 shots. Until they can stop them, let them keep shooting.
And as I said earlier in the game, Tom, nobody happier that he's not shooting than the players defending for the Milwaukee Wave.
Yes, absolutely. Now Pereira trying to make a little move. Good defense that time as J.P. Rodriguez, his former teammate, able to read the play. Now J.P. takes the pass up ahead. And trying to slalom through, but couldn't quite do it. Feenstra comes out to get it. Munoz will lay it back for Fabinho. And Carlos Munoz will bring it up. Carlos, who has got an array of moves, got around Juninho, fires a 3! Oh! And Edgar shaken up, but he regains his bearings.
I'll give Edgar some credit, and that's what they needed to do from the start, was be big and block shots in front of their goalkeeper.
Wow. You're 30 feet away, and the guy cranks one up like that. That just shows you the kind of pace that Munoz can.
So let me ask you, Tom. Greg Howes, Mauricio Salas, guys like that, 79, 80 miles an hour, right? Would you rather get hit, and I know you wouldn't rather get hit with either of them, an 80-mile-an-hour shot from Greg Howes or a 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Justin Verlander?
I guess it depends where Verlander plunks you. Otherwise, though, I know what you're saying. You got a much better standing against the soccer ball, because
I would think so.
It's not coming quite as fast. Yes, it's bigger, but it's going to be absorbed in a bigger area of your body, maybe.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
Last time I checked, that baseball is a little bit harder than the MISL soccer ball.
Yeah, like you said, Art, never saw anybody go to the hospital for blocking a shot as they played in the defensive wall off a free kick. Of course, basketball coaches always say never saw anybody go to the hospital taking a charge, although I'm not too sure anybody wanted to stare at Karl Malone as he was.
Well, and I'm not saying there hasn't been some concussions in this league because of blocking a shot with the head, but I haven't seen it.
No, I think your point is well taken. Wave working the possession, just over 3.5 to go, 28-10. As this is going to be their 3rd consecutive blowout type victory at home. Actually, the one with Syracuse, it ended up being 20-10, but it really was a relatively close game for the first 2.5 quarters. This one here was 8-5 at the end of one, 14-5 at halftime, 24-10 going to the 4th quarter, now 28-10 right now. So Wave is going to go to 8-1. I think on the pregame show, Art, I said they already were 8-1, so I guess subconsciously already thinking they were going to pull this thing out. Keith Toes and the fellas making me look good. They'll go to 4-0 at home, and they will continue to increase their already impressive lifetime home record, now 295 wins against just 70 losses. That's actually Keith Tozer's all-time home record since taking over the Wave.
I was going to say 4-0 to start the season, and then the loss to Missouri, and now 4 more victories, and headed to Independence Center, correct?
Yep. I'm sure that's what Coach Vlatko Andonovsky is going to be telling his team. Let's make it deja vu all over again. That should be a great game. Looking forward to watching that one Friday, and of course the rematch here Saturday night. And not only the Comets coming here a week from Saturday to play the Wave, the St. Louis Ambush will be in town on Saturday night, January 25th for a 6:05 game. Again, call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE, or order online at MilwaukeeWave.com.
Well, safe to say a bigger game for Missouri versus the Wave is if they lose that one, they fall to 6-5, and suddenly St. Louis starts to creep into the picture.
Actually, they're going to be 7-4 tonight because
that's 7-4. That's right.
They're going to get a win at Reading, although it was 11-5 with a couple minutes left to go. I guess we got to start giving the Roar a little credit. They've been able to keep the scores down here recently. Still extremely offensively challenged, but at least Eric Coles and company have regrouped a bit as far as defending the goal. Of course, they do have former legendary keeper Peter Pappas, who's back in after a 4-year absence, and he still looks pretty good. There's a crack just wide by Rodriguez. Lancers still trying to see if they can bag another one before the end of this contest. A shot ripped wide. And Rochester probably with their most extensive possession of the game here in the last couple of minutes. So Rochester going to suffer their 4th consecutive loss, the last 3 on the road. And up until today's game, they could have easily won any of those 3 games, if not all of them. Cole and Tony Walls scrapping for it. Now, Tavernese comes away with it. It pops out, and a shot and a goal. And I believe it's Troy Cole going to get the goal, the veteran out of Mars Hill University. Yes, indeed. Troy Cole will get the goal with 30 seconds left to go in the game. It will make it 28-12 in favor of the Wave. 14:30 the time of the score. And I think Tavernese might get the assist. Check out who else is down there. Yeah, Tavernese. So he should get the assist on the goal by Cole. But little consolation for the Lancers as the Wave is going to finish up a very impressive victory.
Well, and wishing the Lancers safe travels back to Rochester. It's been a long trip for them. And once again, credit to Soccer Sam, the ownership group with the Rochester Lancers, everything they did to get their uniforms here, and the players really putting up with this tough situation.
Absolutely. They showed up ready to play. Give the Wave credit. They did a nice job tonight as Keith Tozer celebrates another victory, number 738 of his illustrious career. Milwaukee wins its 377th home game against just 143 losses. 611 wins against 423 losses all time. As we take a look at the highlights second half, there's that great conversion by Oliviero that made the score start really putting the distance between the Wave. Munoz bagging the ball there. That actually made it 24-10 at the time. And then Fontana would finish one through the legs of Mark Santilli. Now the 42-year-old veteran, like we said, giving it his all tonight in his MISL debut, but wasn't in the cards for him. Ian Bennett, who had a couple goals tonight in his bobblehead night. And there was that shot blocked by the chin of Edgar on the blast by Munoz. 28-12, the Wave wins it. And so, for Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer, Tom Wynn wishing you a good one. We will see you next time on Wave Soccer.